So since we're there, right before we came on today, I was talking to you. Want to tell them the story about the 99-cent store, the dollar store,
Yes.
the Walmarts, the
First of
Neiman
all,
Marcus?
yes.
Yeah.
First of all, he's still in diapers. I'm 72.
Yeah.
All right. I served at the Lord's Supper, so let's get that straight. I'm an
When
old
he was
guy.
15, I was being born.
All right. Yes. And I believe that you're never too old to learn and you're never too young to teach, and that's why I admire you, and that's why I have no qualms about asking you to mentor me in this next chapter of my life, because I'm not through yet, and there's much more for me to do. And I was talking to you about your model, going
Our
from
business
competing, his business model, competing with dollar store all the way up to thousands of dollars. And that is so brilliant. One of the things, when I read the book, Alvin Toffler, Future Shock, and he talked about the fact that when we go from a domestic economy to a global economy, an education economy, the things are going to change, and it will be a time where people have to think and have to be creative and find ways to do what they do in a far more effective way, do more and do it faster and with less resources and manpower. You have mastered that, and you're teaching others how to do it. We learn, we earn, and we pass it on. And that's what I admire about you, that you're passing it on. It's not just about you, but you're building a legacy and empowering people who will go into a future that neither one of us will see, that will take it to the next level. And that's exciting.
How many speaking gigs have you done around the world? Any idea how many stages you've been on, Les? The legend, Les Brown, is in the studio. I'm so
I've
excited.
spoken to as many as 80,000 people. If people go online and put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome,
Yeah.
and the speech is called "It's Not Over Till You Win." Dexter Yeager from Amway, he put that event together. The largest gathering of entrepreneurs. That was the largest audience of over 80,000. Last year I spoke in Poland to over 25,000. That was a very powerful gathering. But I've spoken in so many places.
How many times? I know you've been in Miami 4 times in your entire career.
In my entire career.
Only 4 times, by the way.
Only 4 times. Yeah, and I was born
But you
in
grew
Liberty
up here,
City.
right?
Born in Liberty City, an abandoned building with a twin brother. We're adopted.
I'm a twin.
No, you're not.
Identical twin, man.
Whoa, we're fraternal twins.
Okay,
And so, he looks like my son because I use mascara to cover my gray. There's no shame. I put it on stage, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, but so Wesley and I, we were adopted by Mrs. Mamie Brown. She had a 3rd grade education. She worked on Miami Beach for wealthy families. And my dream, as we were coming up, was to buy her a home. That's what drove me. And one of the families that she worked for, Mrs. Swiderski, used to listen to Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret in the World, and Bill Bailey and Glenn Turner. And that was early stages of cultivating my mind and my thoughts. The Strangest Secret in the World.
Okay.
That was the first motivational message that I heard that sold over 1 million. He was an insurance executive, and he created these motivational messages for his insurance agents to listen to. And their performance began to increase. He had just an incredible voice, and I loved his voice and his content. And then I ran into Jim Rohn, and he worked for a guy named Bill Bailey, had a company called Bestline Products. And I heard Jim speak. I was fascinated by him and Bill Bailey from Louisville, Kentucky. And those speakers spoke into my life. I always tell speakers, I train them now, and I say that when we speak, we create, as you know, an experience, because how people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. And so when you speak, what you do is distract, dispute, and inspire. You distract them from their story with your story. Through the strategic execution of your story and the things that you have learned and the failures and the setbacks and the victories, you dismantle their current belief system and inspire them to become, as Mother Teresa would say, to become a pencil in the hand of God and start writing a new chapter in their lives. Distract, dispute, and inspire. We create an experience. And I believe that the reason that many speakers aren't able to do what we do is they feel that information is important. And I can tell you unequivocally that if information could change people, everybody would be skinny, rich, and happy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You hear what he's saying, okay?
Yeah.
He's talking about the dismantling of the old story that you're telling the world, okay?
Yes.
And some people have the magical, miraculous ability to do that. This man right here has it.
You have it too.
Thank you.
I've been watching you. I said, you can't sneak up on the old man. I said, look at him. You think you're going to have Bush feet? No way, Jose.
Me and Les Brown are going to be working together.
Yes.
March 17th, 18th, and 19th, right here in Miami. He's only spoken here 4 times in the world. You've probably been to Europe more than 4 times.
Oh, my goodness, yes. I've spoken in Poland, in Johannesburg, South Africa, in Australia, in London, England, and Hong Kong. I've spoken all over the world.
And you know, Les, I mean, you're 72. I'm 58 years old. You have 10 kids.
Yes, 5 boys and 5 girls.
You're trying to tell me
you've got to pick up the pace. Yes,
okay.
There's a little. He said, "Be fruitful and multiply." I took him seriously.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
Man. He's 10x. This dude is.
That's
10X.
what I'm talking about. Can you feel a brother up in here? Yes,
I can. And so, I mean, look, you and I'm sure you do, and I'm transparent, so I talk about this. I know I'm at the, closer to the end of my career than the beginning of it.
I don't think so.
No?
No, because part of delivering this message, when you're in alignment with your purpose, I believe that gives you more time in the universe. Let's look at me. I'm 72, but I don't look it. I don't have a 72-year-old energy. And there's a difference between that physiological age and that spiritual age. And I think when you're in alignment and doing what you're supposed to do that pleasures God, it keeps you young. You have the energy of a 20-year-old. That allows you to be.
But I mean, there's going to be a time when you and I are not live in these bodies on a stage.
Without any question. Okay. And I'm not looking forward to that.
Les Brown, stay with me. We'll be right back for Power Players. Welcome back to Power Players. Grant Cardone here with the legendary Les Brown. We were talking on break. He promised a breakthrough in March.
Without any question.
How can you do that?
Because of the fact that what we do, we have the ability, and we've developed it over a period of time, and I don't know exactly when it happens, where you can speak to a crowd of people, and you're speaking to them as a group, but also individually, that they come away as a result of your speaking into them, and as we weave a story with our experiences because of who we are behind the words that we speak, because of what we've gone through. A person hasn't gone through anything, it's hard for them to reach somebody's heart because they've never been there. Sometimes God has to break a life before he can use a life. And so you and I, two individuals, come on down. Yeah, we've been broken. And so he put us back together. And as a result of that we can be used, but we couldn't be used before. And so to me, to be able to be a channel to help people discover a part of themselves that they could never discover by themselves. That's what you do, that's what we do, and that's why people listen to us and come to us.
So why do people, so many people want to be public speakers, but are also fearful of it? And how can you help that person?
Oh, the training that I do, that they speak immediately. That's the quickest thing to go. They speak immediately. You have to set them up so they don't have time to think. And so in the training, they speak immediately and they love it because I believe that we're supposed to be doing this. I had a lady flew from Australia recently and to be trained by me, and then she emailed me and said, cost is not an issue. And so I asked her the second day, and I only train with people that I feel a close connection with one-on-one. And I said, why did you want to come to me? She said, I saw American television, and it talked about this young white boy that went into a black church and killed 9 people. And she said, I said to myself, what if I had gotten in his ear? She says, nothing enters except through the eyes or the ears. And she said, and this gave me goose pimples, she said, you speak from your heart. And I want to learn how to do that because I believe the world is the way that it is, not because a few people are violent. She said the world is the way that it is because too many people are silent.
Yes.
And I said, whoa. And I decided
that's awesome.
that my goal is to help people outside of politics and outside of religion, which polarize people.
Have a voice.
Yeah, politicians say, do as I tell you to do, and I'll give you a piece of American pie. Ministers say, do as I tell you to do, and I can teach you how to live after you die. And our goal is teaching people how to live right here, right now, because the difference ultimately between what we do and what ministers do, they preach the gospel about Jesus. We preach the gospel that Jesus preached. They sell the messenger and we sell the message. And so as a result, we can empower people to take charge of their lives and begin to create a new story, to write new chapters with their lives.
So, like Les talked about the lady from Australia that says it's not because of the violence, but because of the silence.
Yeah.
I think most businesses fail. Most brands never make it. Most people never reach their greatness because they don't know how to tell their story.
Yes, that's major.
What will you be sharing with the audience? Because look, man.
Let me just share with you why the
book
story
Laws of
is
Success.
important. Yes. Why the story is important is because when you speak, if you're selling,
Yeah.
you're an entrepreneur, you got a product, you have an expertise, knowledge is a new currency.
Yeah.
People are asking 3 questions. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? And so if you don't answer that, because we know people do business with
who, what, why?
Who are you?
Yeah.
What do you have? And why should I care? People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And when you can answer that, now you're building a rapport and a connection that creates a possibility where you can do business together and help each other go to that next level.
Yeah. Guys spoken all over the world. Emmy Award winner for fundraising for public broadcasting.
Yes.
Fortune 500 CEOs all over the world, small business owners, nonprofit, community leaders. You're an inspiration to me because you sit out in front of me and give me like what is possible. Right?
Yes.
So you've really been an inspiration to me. And,
Thank you so
I know
much.
millions and millions of others. I look
And
forward
you've
to
done the same for me, and you play it down. You're so humble.
No. I'm not humble.
Yeah,
I'm not a humble
you
man.
Just
I am
humble
not-
bread. You just humble bread.
No, I'm
but
not
I ain't going for it.
Dude, I am not a humble man. He's going to speak on Saturday, right?
Saturday, yes.
Saturday.
And you know, this is
But you
special
got to
for
come
me.
in the night before, man.
I will come in the night before because I live here now.
Okay. Good. So we're going to
Yes.
have a yacht party.
Yes.
Can
I
you
look
can you
forward to
swim?
it. Yes. You can't be in Miami and not swim.
Dude, I've met so many people here that can't swim. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like, what are you doing on planet Earth that's 2/3
Yeah,
water and you
they,
can't
they
swim?
won't be around too long. Yes.
Les Brown, folks, a legend, okay? If you don't have his book, Laws of Success, okay, go get that book today on Amazon.
Yes.
You can get it anywhere, right?
You can get it on Amazon primarily. But the other thing I'm interested in people checking is out at the Les Brown Institute because I think it's my mission to train these new voices of hope. When there's hope in the future, it gives you power in the present. We live in the greatest country in the world. There's something wrong when people try and outswim sharks to get here or outrun a Jeep barefooted to get here.
To come to the country.
And the suicide rate in America is higher than the number of people that were killed last year in car accidents.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with that. They lost
Crazy,
hope.
man.
And we are voices of hope. When there's hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. And that's what my goal and mission I feel that God has with me, the Les Brown Institute, is to train people how to tell their story and to transform the lives of other individuals. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, he's going to stick to that because that's what he's been doing for 40 years, okay? And he's going to stick to you. If you're committed to your health, to your well-being, to your wealth, to your future, your family, the love, whatever you believe in, we want to help you. March 17th, 18th, and 19th in Miami. Now, look, if you can't get here, I'm going to stream it to them.
Yes.
A guy called me the other day and said, hey, look, I got 10 people, I bought 10 tickets. I can't get down there because of this.
Yes.
We're going to stream it to those people, okay? I know you got a bunch of your folks coming.
Without any question, and all my children will be there too.
Okay.
So that's going to have the place half full.
And you're going to be there. Okay? I'm telling you, this is going to be the best.
Yeah.
He talked about that Georgia conference.
Yeah, Georgia Dome. I was speaking to 80,000 people. Call It's Not Over Till You Win. They can see it on YouTube.
Now, what if there was only 2,000 people in the room
It
rather
doesn't
than
matter.
80,000?
It doesn't matter.
But don't you think those
Trust
2,000
me,
would get more?
they will get more out of it because I'm going to get the butter from the duck. Trust me on that.
The butter from the duck.
Yes.
You want to talk about the pepper in the fork?
Yes, I've been eating hot pepper on the fork right before this event because I'm going to be fired up and hungry.
I guarantee he will do the single best presentation of his entire career because the bar has been raised. Folks, look at
Yes,
the
it has
people
been.
here, okay? Jay Abrahams. You know Jay?
Absolutely.
What'd you say about Jay?
Jay is very knowledgeable, and he's
Big
going to do
words.
yes, he's big words.
You got
But
it.
there's some people. There's a market there.
There,
Because
Kevin
in
Harrington.
every
You know Kevin
audience,
from
the
Shark
audience
Tank?
is inside of the audience. Yes, I know. Chair. Kevin.
Infomercial genius.
Yes,
okay?
he's
He's
good.
done almost $1 billion in infomercials.
Yeah.
You know Tim Story that
Yes.
worked with Oprah?
Yeah,
Okay.
Tim is good.
Tim Grover worked with Kobe and Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Michael Jordan, the basketball player.
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you play basketball?
Yes, and I got a good hook.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Ask
Now, I
Michael,
think he's exaggerating.
Ask Michael
now.
about me. We were born on the same date. He and Jim Brown,
Are you
February
kidding,
17th. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I think we're beyond public speaking now. Do you know this dude, Andy Frisella?
Yes, but not
Okay,
personally.
$100 million
yes.
earner.
Yeah, he's
$100
a
million
bad
a
boy.
year.
Yeah,
okay?
that's somebody I
Jamie
want to know
Shanks,
more.
Roddy Chong, I'm bringing in a violinist.
You know,
You don't know this dude. He's a little Asian
Yes,
dude.
he's
makes about $3 million bucks a year.
Very expressive.
You
when
know
he
this
plays.
dude?
You know
Yes. Bobby Castro. You don't know Bobby.
No, I don't know
You're
Bobby.
a white dude, man.
Yes.
Right here in Miami.
Right here in Miami?
$600 million valuation.
What does he
of this
do?
company. Actually, Bankers Healthcare. I think you spoke
Yes,
to
I
this
spoke
once.
to there.
Okay. Jack and Telly,
No.
$1.5 billion business.
Man, what a powerful lineup you have.
Per
you know
year,
what?
per year.
Per year.
Every year, he bangs out $1 billion. There's
You
a
know
$1 billion list, but look, it wasn't going to be complete
Yes.
without my man, Mr. 10X, the original 10X, because he had 10 kids. Okay? Les, buddy, I love you.
For those that maybe aren't going to have access to more intimate training from you,
Yes.
and obviously it's a more extensive training that would cover all these things, what would you tell people on how they can organize their voice through a speech so that they're tapping into the hearts of people when they connect with them and sharing their story in such a way that it is an interruption and gets people to transform the way they look at themselves in a more positive way and impact others around them? What would you say? I took Toastmasters 8 years ago. I think you took it, or you were part of the organization in some way.
Toastmasters. I never took Toastmasters. Toastmasters, they selected me among the top
right.
5 speakers in the world.
That's
General
right.
Norman Schwarzkopf, Leah Coker, Paul Harvey, and Robert Schuller. I mean,
Wow.
that's a very
That's pretty-
elite group. Yes, I'm the last guy standing.
That's pretty big. Well, I took them 8
Yeah.
years ago for a year because I couldn't stand in front of 5 people and share
Yes.
anything without
Yes.
stuttering and stumbling and forgetting what I was going to say.
The first time I stood up to speak, I stood up and my mind sat down. I choked. I couldn't remember anything. When
Yeah.
I spoke in the Georgia Dome, I went to the bathroom 7 times. Did I tell you
Wow.
7 is my lucky number? They knocked on the door. Brownie. I said, what is it? Come out, man. Dexter Yeager, they're pausing now because it's time for you. And I made a mistake. I looked out at the audience and I panicked. I said, Mike, I don't hear the voices. I'm scared. He said, Brownie, they came to see you. You didn't come to see them. He said, come out. You'll hear the voices. I said, I don't know, Mike. I've been trying. I just don't know. I'm scared. And he said, just be scared and do it anyhow. Don't speak. I said, I don't have to speak? He said, no. I said, then what will I do? He said, just tell a story. Tell a story of where you are, about what you're going through, and about the goal and dream for buying your mother a home. You know, I told my mother, I said, Mama, when I become a man, I'm going to buy your home. I said, when I turn 18, I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to be able to buy groceries for us. We won't have to wait till someone eats and hope that there's something left over. I'm going to buy brand new clothes for us, and we won't have to wear somebody else's children's clothes that they've worn all year long. When I become a man, you'll never pay another bill. I don't believe that women should pay bills. I think if a woman wants to work, she should work and do what she loves to do, and if whatever money she earns, she should keep it for herself. A man, not a grown boy, a man provides and protects. I'm from old school. And so my vision of myself, of wanting to buy her home and be able to provide for her, and I did that. I bought 4 different homes before she passed. That drove me. And so I think it's important that people find something that gives their life a sense of meaning and value that drives them, that becomes their magnificent obsession.
Yeah,
And that's where I am.
I like that. And so what about for people who want to give
So
their
the people
a
who want to
speech and
speak,
share their voice?
well, I think they should find something that they're passionate about. Some subject that they can lose themselves in. The scripture says, for man to gain his life, he must lose it. And I thought it was about physically losing your life, but it's about when I speak, I go to a place. LeBron James, when they won the championship, he was in an interview and they said, how did you do it? And he said, I had to go to another place. So when I speak, it's not about me. My prayer is more of thee, less of me. I'm encouraging people who are serious about speaking, don't just do it for the money. You can make a lot of money. I earn more in 1 hour than 90% of the American public earn working for 5 years. But when you find something that you love, you will study it. Something that you love, that becomes a difference between being in speaking and speaking being in you, that you will become not just confident, but you will become competent on that. That when I prepare myself for a speaking engagement, and I still do, because I don't believe that you're never too old to learn and you're never too young to teach. And so I pour myself into it. I lose myself into it, because it's not about me, it's about the audience. So I'm suggesting to those, and I only want to work with people who are serious, that what we can do for those people is right now, number one, never make a point without a story, and never tell a story without a point. That's number one. That's key, because stories can be used to transform people's lives.
Right? Yeah.
Not just anchor the points, but it creates a significant emotional event. And that's how human behavior is transformed. We have emotional memory. The next thing in speaking, there is some fear, and that fear is always there. I never assume that I know what that audience is going to believe. Each audience, they have their own personality, and each audience, their audience inside of each audience is separated by age, by race, by income, by education. The other thing that's crucial in speaking is that as you speak and as you look at the audience, always take the time to find out who they are, and all that get understanding. So I have a needs assessment that I sent out, and I ask them questions. What are the things that you want this audience to walk away with? What are the things that you've done? Things that's stressing you out? What's the unspoken conversation? So I sent out this needs assessment. I talk with the CEO. I do research to find out their mission statement. I talk to the marketing director, and then I interview the top performers. If it's a sales organization, I talk to the top performers, and then the next step, I interview people in the audience. If you were in my position, what are the things that people in this audience need to hear if you were in my position that you would suggest? I ask them individually, these 5 people, and then when I'm on stage, I integrate that, I marry that to navigate an experience. As I said, Oliver Wendell Holmes said that once a man or woman's mind has been expanded with an idea, concept, or experience, it can never be satisfied to going back to where it was. So when you bring all of those elements in there with humor, with quotes, statistics, and stories, you are able to create special moments that can transform that audience. The other thing, when you tell a story, don't just tell the story. Experience the story, and the audience will go there with you.
Be the story.
Yes, you've got to be the story, the embodiment of the story, so that the audience, as a result of hearing it, that they can't rest, that you start showing up in their dreams. I have one of the things that I love, and I'll give them an example of what I mean, because some things are taught and some things are caught. One of the things that I spoke the other day, and I wanted this group of people that I was talking to, I wanted to challenge them to get outside of their comfort zone and to become uncomfortable with where they are. There's no saying you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. However, if you know how to speak strategically and create a special moment, you can create a thirst where they want to drink. And so when I got to the end of my presentation, I looked at them and I said, right now I want to talk to you about Dr. Howard Thurman, who was one of the mentors of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Albert Schweitzer and Mahatma Gandhi. And when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and my PSA was 2,400, I was pondering about my life. Am I going to beat this? And I was reading his words for comfort, and he said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. But imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities given to you by life, but you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never acted on those ideas. You never used those gifts, and there they are looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life, and now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what gifts will die with you? I pause, and the room is silent. I said, maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau said, oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived. Maybe that's why one woman said, what if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? Then I tell them, live full, die empty. I had one lady who, she was 62 and she went back to finish law school at Wayne State University. She said, I'm not going to have that ghost around my bed. I spoke at West Angeles Church in Los Angeles, and Denzel Washington was on the first row. And he said, and he mentions this several times in graduation speeches, that he had a narrow vision of the roles that he would play as an actor. And after he heard that, he said he decided that he was going to play a variety of roles, that he didn't want any role that said, we came to you, Denzel, and you wouldn't want to play us. You want to just be a goody two-shoe guy, all right? Yeah. So I said, wow, I hope I didn't inspire him to do Training Day, because I got sick of that. I couldn't keep my popcorn down.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's about creating those special moments, but the other thing is get some coaching from people, definitely. And not just anybody, someone who's accomplished and doing it on the level that you want to do it, because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest, but he never won a championship without Angelo Dundee. Michael Jordan, considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but he never won a championship without Phil Jackson. So get some coaching from someone who's experienced, who's operated on the level that you want to go at. When I saw Mike Williams, who wrote the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff, he was a powerful speaker, and I loved his content and the naturalness of his personality, and he had fun. And so I said, I want to be like that. So I'm a combination of Mike Williams and Earl Nightingale, who was well-read, and Zig Ziglar, who had a lot of energy. And Jim Rohn has some profound quotes. Just a great thinker, a statesman. But I also trained to be able to communicate. Like Dr. King was a great orator. Malcolm X was a great communicator. And so I integrate all of these people. Wow. I believe if you love this, you will study the people that master it, and you will evolve into creating your own voice with your own energy signature.
Do you have an online program as well for speaking for people that want to know?
Yes. In fact, we have just completed one that's not online, but what they can do if they're serious and hungry. I'm looking for people that are hungry. Hungry people are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. They can email me at lesbrown77@gmail.com. Did I tell you 7 is my lucky number?
You did.
lesbrown77@gmail.com and said, I want to tell my story and make a difference. And we will get to, I will send them the 7 principles of storytelling and some videos of how to tell your story. And we'll do that free for them.
Very cool.
And also the Georgia Dome presentation and 2 others that I just found that would be just great for them. The 7 principles of storytelling, how to tell your story, and the Georgia Dome presentation, and some others that I just located. And the reason that I want to do that, I believe that if we multiply the voices of hope, messengers of hope that will provide a message of peace and a message of hope. When there's hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. I believe that we can reduce the recidivism rate. I believe that we can reduce the number of our young men and women that's in the military who are committing suicide on a regular basis. I believe that we can begin to decrease crime and the violence that's taking place all across this country, because evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. Nothing happens until it's communicated. In the beginning was the Word. And so my goal is to multiply the voices out here that will be bring some words that can help us to get a different vision of ourselves.
That's powerful.
Evan, I asked you before we came on, what is your signature message? And you see your signature message being?
Believe in yourself, believe that it's possible, believe that it can work out, believe that someone like you can do amazing things. I think lack of belief is the single most important issue facing us as a human species, and I wake up every day trying to solve it one person at a time.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Where did that come from in you? You're saying this is something that I want to talk about and share with audiences around the world and showcase speakers and their messages and their values. Where did that come from?
At the core, I think it came from my parents. There's a picture behind me on the wall here. That's me when I'm 8 or 9 years old, and those are my parents. And they used to always tell me, you're Evan Castrilli Carmichael, you can do anything you believe that you can.
Gotcha. I want you to go into your imagination and go around 4 or 5. And going there, who would you say was the most influential, impactful person in your life that you admired and looked up to? Who was that person?
Probably my mom.
Your mother. What's her name?
Anna Marie.
Anna Marie. All right. Now, I want you to use 5 adjectives and an example. Anna Marie, give me the first adjective and an example. What was the first quality that you admired about your mother?
Service.
What do you mean by that? Give me an example.
She always was and is, she's still alive, trying to serve, trying to help, trying to do something bigger than herself, caring about her community, and instilled that in me too. It's like, you have to go off and do more than just for you. You have to go off and serve others too.
Excellent. What's the second quality?
Belief. Whenever I was not doing well, whenever I didn't get the same grades my sisters got, or whenever I got into trouble, it wasn't just punishment. There was always this feeling like, okay, I can do better. Not that I'm bad, but that I can go somewhere else. And that belief in me helped me believe in myself a little bit more too.
Excellent. And the third quality?
This is fun. I like this. You put me on the spot. This is great. I'm gonna have to show my mom this stream afterwards. I'm sure she's gonna love it. The family. I mean, she's the glue for our family, and just the caring for people, remembering little things like remembering people's birthdays. She makes an annual family calendar for us every year, so we all remember, in our extended family, whose birthdays are when, and those little touches to recognize and show appreciation and love for the people who are closest to you.
Okay. And the fourth?
Fourth, the conviction to follow through. She had a lot of things stacked against her. She did things that a woman wasn't supposed to do in terms of leadership positions and running organizations, where she was the first. She became the first chairman of an educational institution that she changed the name to chair, so it's not just chairman. And so did a lot of things that someone like her wasn't supposed to do, an immigrant woman wasn't supposed to do, and she just persevered her way through it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting emotional, Les, and thinking about these. This is great.
Okay, and what's the fifth quality?
Fifth quality, just a constant, never-ending drive to get better. Striving to get better. That good enough isn't good enough. That you can always do more. That one of the things she would always say is, if you have the ability, you have the responsibility. If you can, then you must. So those words kind of, every time I walk, I've got 5 pictures in my office and they're in the middle, and every time I walk in, I hear some of those phrases every single time fill in my head.
Excellent. If you wrote a book about your mother, I think you should. I talk about my mother Mamie Brown. I'm adopted, and I just a few weeks ago saw a picture of my birth mother, and my birth mother gave me life, but my adopted mother taught me how to live life. But if you wrote a book about her and what you learned from her and how to live life, what would that title be? And a title that would appeal to anybody, regardless of their gender, regardless of their politics and religious persuasion, young or old. What would that title be about Anna Marie? What would that title be?
It can be done.
It can be done. Oh, I love that. Can be done. And the subtitle?
That we don't want to make it gender specific. The subtitle would be Your March to Find Meaning and Purpose.
Your March to Find Meaning and Purpose. Excellent. Do you mind if I take a swing at your story? This is a signature story, I believe.
Let's go.
Hello, my name is Evan, and I want to talk to you about your goals and dreams and things that you want to achieve with your life. And I want you to think about them in your personal life, things that you want to achieve. And in my case, I'm living the life that I love, and I love the life that I live because my mother raised me to be the kind of person to want to make the world a better place than how it is right now. So I want you to think about something in your personal life that you'd like to do, or someone you'd like to do something for. And then I want you to think about your financial freedom number. You know, people say money won't make you happy, but there was something that I believe in very strongly. It can make you happy, but the people who say that just never had any. Red Fox said money ain't everything, but it can sure make a down payment on what you owe. So I want you to think about your financial freedom number, or doing something, a job or some cause that you want to represent. And that brings me to, I want you to think about your life, living a life that will outlive you. As I look at and reflect on my mother, every time I come in the office, I see her picture and I realize she resonated with the words of Horace Mann, who said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. And as you reflect on and looking at your life in and out of the pandemic, and as all of us, I think, are in a place where we are marching toward finding meaning and purpose in our lives, I want you to write this down: service. My mother, Anna Marie, she believed in service. My favorite book says that the greatest among you will be your servant. And it was Earl Nightingale who said that your success in life or failure is directly related to the quality and the quantity of the service that you provide. As you look at yourself and look at your life right now, what service can you provide in and out of the pandemic that will make a tremendous impact, that will make your life count, that will be able to establish you as a person who lived a meaningful, purposeful life and made a difference for others? It was John H. Johnson who, with a $500 loan from his mother, and he built a $400 million empire. He said, "There's no defense against an excellence of service that meets a pressing public need." Have a service-driven life. That's what I learned from my mother, Anna Marie. Here's the next thing: belief. You know, when I failed in school, there were times I felt down on myself, but she didn't criticize me. She didn't beat up on me. She just made me feel I can do better. She had high expectations for me. No one rises to low expectations. And she let me know that she expected more. She let me know that I have the ability to do more. She let me know that the grades did not define me. And that inspired me to live an inspired life. That brought something out of me that even now I talk about service and belief, because I know that I'm not just a messenger, but I am the message. When you have someone that can believe in you before your belief kicks in. And that's what my mother did for me. And the next thing is caring. Oh boy, she did not forget birthdays and anniversaries. You know, it was Maya Angelou who said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And my mother, she not cared just for me, but for the family, for everybody. Everybody know that my mother has a big heart, a heart-centered life. And she shared her caring with those in the family and people that she met. It's been said that love, inspiration, and caring are perfumes you can sprinkle on others without getting a few drops on yourself. Live a life of caring. And the next thing is conviction. Whatever goals and dreams that you are going after, that you see for yourself, you must be convicted in your spirit that you're going to make it, that you're going to do it. My mother, she accomplished some things against all odds. People didn't think that she'd be able to do that, but she did it. She was determined. A lot of people say it's not over till the fat lady sings. Well, many people quit when she's just clearing her throat. But my mother, she was convicted. She walked by faith and not by sight. My mother, she was a no matter what person. She's still here now. She covers the ground she stands on. If you're casual about your dream will end up a casualty. My mother, she was convicted in her spirit to live a life that counts, a life that matters, a life that makes impact. And I think all of us are called upon to do that. Most people die at age 25 and don't get buried until they're 65 because they've not found something that gives their lives meaning and purpose to make a greater impact. And here's something else. Not only must you have a life of service and belief and inspire those around you and caring with love and a heart-centered life and be convicted to always looking for ways to reach higher. Socrates says a man's reach is to supersede his grasp for what are the heavens for. But the other thing is, my mother had drive. She still has it now. You have to have a drive to get better. A drive, something in you. You have greatness built in you. And because of most people's lack of drive, most people unwillingness to discover who they are and whose they are, most people not taking the time to work on themselves, to focus their mind, to put in the effort, and to commit themselves to live a life that matters, that stands out, a life that counts. That's Anna Marie. Maria Anna Marie. Oh yes, my mother. You can tell I'm a mama's boy. As you look at your life, here's what I know. Whatever you see yourself doing now, you're marching toward purpose, meaning, and impact. Whatever vision that you hold for yourself, see it accomplished and understand this. It can be done. It can be done. And the glue is service, belief, caring, conviction, and drive. My name is Evan. I'm Anna Marie's boy. I love my mama. Bye for now.
There we go. I love that. Wow. Man in action is great.
Yeah, well, what did you get from that?
I love how you were able to quickly summarize the points, but also bring your own quotes in and all the things that is Les Brown style. You know, the quotes and the parables and the stories, and just how you deconstructed and made it personal. That, hey, I'm here telling a story to help you get to know me a little bit better. And through my mom as a proxy, you get the message, not just me sharing, here's what you need to do, but hey, here's how I learned from my mom, and you can have similar greatness for your life too.
Yes. Now, but here where I would go now. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as I look at my life now, and people might ask the question, why do you do what you do? And because of things that I learned from my mother. The program that I have showcasing methods and techniques and inspirational stories, and have it be clean and family friendly, because I know that what we listen to, we turn into. I've been doing this for years, and at a time where there's so many speakers out here don't have any sense of decency and shame about the language that we use. We have standards. I got that from my mother. We've been doing this for years, and I never had anything come from my program that I would not be proud for my mother to hear. We don't allow profanity in our programming. Les Brown believes that profanity is the strongest expression of a weak mind. And as we look at ourselves in and out of the pandemic, words have power. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. The things that you want to do, it can be done. Death and life is in the tongue. And most of us speak death. And most of us are watching things that are killing the positive mindset and sense of optimism and hope and spirits in people all around the world. It's a special time and special place. And my goal is to be David, facing these Goliaths. And keep in mind, Goliath lost. I got 5 stones, but I don't need but one. And that one is service or belief. When I got some backup too. Man, anybody who knows you, this is who you are. You serve with your life. You want to inspire people to believe in themselves. You have a caring heart. You are convicted on the things that you want to accomplish with your life, to live a life that will outlive you. And you have a drive and hunger to get better. You're not satisfied with where you are. You believe that since greatness is possible, then being excellent is not enough. It's my honor to be in the presence of you, sir.
Thank you.